In January 2022, Libras are experiencing some kind of drama either in their family or in a long-term relationship that they're having. It feels like a mass crumbling to shed what they thought and actually see things for what they truly are. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tawanantoinette. This is going to be your January tarot reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. I always recommend checking your rising sign first if you are going to watch all of your signs. So start there. And just before we begin, there's a couple announcements. The first one being this is going to be a collective reading. So it's going to pull on collective energy, meaning there are thousands of Libra placements in the collective, and some of it may make sense for you and other parts may not. If something doesn't make sense for you, don't claim it. It's simply not your message. You can check your other placements and watch the reading with that in mind, that this is not a personal reading for you, it is a collective reading. Secondly, if you'd like to book a collective reading, that's in the description. Thirdly, these tarot readings will now be available via podcast. So if you would like to listen ad-free, be able to use your devices while you are listening to your tarot reading, go check the link in the description. And I think that is it. Let's begin. Okay, in the first position, we have the Tower. So what's going on in January is this. Now, this may look like different things for each one of you out there. Some of you, this is receiving some kind of clarity. Tower moments are very surprising moments that we did not anticipate, where everything kind of crumbles because something was not built on a firm foundation. Now, Tower moments can come up in many different manifestations, but for you Libras in January, I really feel like this Tower moment is kind of like a sudden realization. One that when it hits, you can't come back from realizing what you've realized. So it's clarified by the Seven of Cups, Two of Wands, Five of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. So maybe you've been slow to come to this realization, but you finally are here. It almost feels like seeing people in your family for who they are, seeing a specific person in your family for who they are. And if this is not relating for you in terms of family relationships, I feel like this is going to be a long-term connection, a long-term relationship that you are a part of. It's almost like realizing that you need to start pouring more back into yourself. Some of you, it's going to be realizing that you need to heal a specific relationship in your family. Others of you, it's this star energy with the Ten of Pentacles is going to be pouring back into yourself. Reassessing how much you've poured into this long-term connection or these family connections, which you should have really just poured into you, or that you will start pouring into you. It feels like I'm finally dropping the illusion that I've been under in some way, shape, or form. So maybe you have not been able to see people clearly, you have not been seeing a situation clearly or a relationship clearly, and all of a sudden you just do in January. Maybe something is triggering that moment, someone is doing something, so you finally see them clearly or something like that. But I feel like you're making some kind of decision here to pour into you, which is always great. At the root cause of the situation, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So even though you're realizing some of these things about some of these people in your life who are really close to you, or maybe it's one person who's really close to you, who you've shared time with, history with, I feel like it's almost very difficult to make decisions. You're like, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose this person? Am I not going to lose this person? We have so much history. It's a loss, and with losses come grief. So there's a lot of grief attached to this situation, and probably why you have moved through it so slowly, because obviously there are feelings involved, your feelings, their feelings. I feel like there's a lot of love in this dynamic, which will cause you to want to go through it carefully. All right, in the next position, we have what's leaving or on its way out. It's your generosity. There are certain people who are just not going to be able to come with you in 2022. And I see you making those changes in those relationships. It feels like you're really realizing where to put your energy, where to invest, with whom you should invest, with whom you should be generous, with whom you should offer a helping hand, and with whom you just should not. You should kind of pull back your energy a little bit to just take care of you instead of taking care of others. So I feel like you are shedding. It feels like you're shedding some relationships, shedding some dynamics, shedding some behaviors. Maybe you've helped people who may not necessarily have deserved your help. It feels like your relationships are changing, and how generous you are in them, generous with your time, generous with your resources, that's changing. On the horizon, we have the Queen of Wands, which is so interesting because this is not your energy. So definitely feels like whatever is happening in January is forcing you to be a specific way for your own protection. You're coming up as the Queen of Wands, which a Queen of Wands is not afraid to tell it like it is. The fury that comes from the Queen of Wands, if you anger her or if she realizes that you're taking advantage of her or something like that, it can be a very vengeful energy. It's also a very focused energy in its lighter side. So focus, passion, determination. As it relates to leaving someone or leaving something behind, it feels like you are determined to shed these relationships, shed if they're in your family or if it's with a particular person in your life. It feels like you have a determination to move on from something in January. In the distant future, we have, which is a couple months energy, we have the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Swords, being more strategic about where you find emotional fulfillment and also material fulfillment. I feel like you're being very strategic and kind of very analytical about who you share your cups with, who you give your emotions to, who you give your time to, who you share the good stuff with, which is always a great thing to be aware of, who we're sharing our energy with, and really and truly if it's a nurturing connection to both parties that are involved. Next card we have is your present energy and attitude, which is coming up as the Ace of Cups. You're really ready for new relationships. And this could be new working relationships, new people to collaborate with, or you're just really open to making new friends. You're doing a lot of reevaluating as it relates to who you share yourself with, because I feel like you have a lot to share. You do have a lot to share, and now you're being more strategic with where that energy flows. And in the next position, we have the environment. This is you pulling your energy back. Four of Pentacles. You are withdrawing your time, withdrawing your energy, possibly from a specific group that you were a part of in the past, or specific friends that you've had, or this could even be family for those of you who's resonating with this message in your family. But I feel like all of your energy is going towards your stability, going towards your money, going towards your material world. It feels like you have pulled away from certain connections to pour back into your career and your finances. In the next position, we have your inner emotions, which are your fears and your dreams, and that's coming up as the Queen of Cups. So even though on the surface you may look very detached and you may look very isolated possibly to others, I feel like you're going through a lot. There's a lot of emotions underneath the surface that you're doing a lot of emotional processing in January. And maybe others don't even know that. It feels like a coming to self moment because the Judgment card and the Empress is clarifying the Queen of Cups. And it's almost like self, am I happy? Self, what did I do to contribute? So you're just having a real, authentic, truthful moment with yourself as it relates to this situation that you have found yourself in, as it relates to family or this relationship. I feel like you're thinking about what part you played, how your part contributed to the manifestation of whatever this thing is. The Judgment card talks about judging yourself and then being able to make a big decision after you've done that self-analysis for your betterment. So it feels like you're having like this self-evaluative moment, and maybe you've pulled back from a lot of people around you too, because you need to look at yourself right now, and there's a lot of emotional work that you are busy doing. Last but not least, the outcome of this situation, I see you embracing new, whatever that means to you. And it's so interesting how we started the reading with the Ten of Pentacles, and then we end the reading with the Fool that's clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So you're very open to new dynamics, whether that be a new long-term relationship or new long-term connections that are more in alignment with where you are today. I feel like you are optimistic after doing all of this self-work. If you are willing to go through all of these energies, I feel like you'll get your positivity back, your optimistic outlooks on relationships back if you've endured any kind of challenging relationship dynamics in January. So let's get some advice. What's the advice for Libras? Exchanging gifts. And this card is so interesting. I feel like it's an oracle card, but it gives me Libra energy because it talks about balance. So let's read what this card says. The law of giving and receiving, which is basically what your whole reading was about. All your hard work and efforts, your commitment to learning, creating, and spending your time wisely pay off in ways you may not have been anticipating. The gifts of yourself, your time, your ideas, and the energy of your intentions are being reciprocated by the universe, which is sending you signs and signals, aligning synchronistic meetings and opportunities to bring you success and more. Everything is an exchange. Keep doing what you're doing. Goodwill comes back tenfold. You're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them, yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time to just do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. Libras, I hope this message helped you. I will leave this here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening.